Welcome to Lockercode, where football is not just fantasy, but our reality, where you can express your excitement, your tensions, or even frustrations about the games, your team, your league, and performances of players. Let's go! Yo, what's good? Y'all boys, what's good, man? Battle Mondays.
What's good?
You know how it is, man. You know how it is.
You got your boy KALEEL on here, boy. It's been a year and a waiting right here, man. Y'all boys had problems before. We about to make this worse.
Lord have mercy.
This is a perfect Battle Mondays right now, dog.
Battle Mondays, my dude. Battle Mondays, man. These boys was mad at each other last year.
I don't think we agreed on anything last year, to be honest.
I think we're on the opposite spectrum on a lot of things. From the Galladay to the Will Fuller, not liking Will Fuller.
Right. You see, the good thing about it is I was the only one that's right. That's.
I was say I was the only one that was right, yo.
See, Will Fuller did break out, but what happened? We found out that the boy was on steroids.
Yeah.
I mean,
so what happened with Galladay?
Yeah, what happened?
Galladay was Galladay versus Godwin. I say Godwin was going to finish ahead of Galladay, regardless of injury or anything.
I'm not going to lie. You got me. I'm not even going to fight. You got me.
And Clyde Edwards-Helaire was not a first round pick.
That was not me.
So you were just laughing at that over the night trade, right? That day trade that you made with
dude, the draft ended and 2 seconds after we saw trade approved. It was like, what?
I had to make sure I secured a player that I wanted.
Okay. All right.
I was surprised about that trade, man. I was surprised about the pick. As much as we talked about it, yo, it was like, no, he's not. And he got picked up. We were just shocked.
Yeah. It was like, wow. But this year is a new year, though. This year is a new year.
Yeah, man.
It's going to be a fun year. Expecting. Keepers deadline passed. There were some issues with Yahoo website. That's why those hasn't been. That's the reason why those hasn't been broadcast as yet. I don't know.
I don't know if to get broadcasted though, man.
I don't know if she's gonna just go ahead and just put it in a text and send it to the group or what. But I know Yahoo website has been down for the past couple of days.
Yeah, I'm waiting on her to put it on it. Just drop it in the text and call it a day. I'll figure everything else out.
I think she wants to do the draft order before and then just drop everything all at once.
When are we going to do the draft order?
It was raining today, man. She had asked me for my help with that. I have the device.
Oh, you still got it?
I got the lottery device for the pick, so I need to drop that off.
All right.
So she can go ahead and do it.
All right, no doubt, man. Well, we got Battle Mondays here. You versus KALEEL. You know what I mean? I don't know where my money at right now, yo. So, trying to be like Mayweather. What is his name? Mayweather.
Mayweather.
35,000 over the weekend, man. Jeez.
Hey.
So yeah, man. P, let's roll, man. What's the questions you have here for Battle Mondays?
All right. So first question, we have quarterbacks. We have Baker Mayfield versus Kirk Cousins.
I'm gonna let the guest.
You want to kick it off, KALEEL?
Yeah, let the guest go.
That's fine. So I know, statistically speaking, Kirk had the better last 2 years of fantasy. I mean, last year he ended up with about 392 to Baker's 318. But the biggest thing for me, going forward is what Kirk Cousins are we going to see for this whole season? And two, is he going to last the whole season? And so I don't think he is. I think there was a reason why they drafted Kellen Mond. We all knew that at the beginning of the draft, they were looking at trading up for Fields and they couldn't get there.
Right.
Minnesota has one of the hardest schedules next year. They play the NFC North, which, they have Green Bay, the Bears. I mean, even the Lions, they always play them tough. But out of division, they've got the Rams, the Ravens, the Steelers, the Browns, and the 49ers, all with top defenses. So for me, even though Cleveland is a rushing team, a third most rushing yards last year, I think Baker is going to have a more successful year. One, it's a contract year, and two, I don't think Kirk Cousins is going to last the season.
So you're going Baker Mayfield or you going Kirk?
I'm going Baker on this one.
On Baker? Wow, tough defense, man. All right.
All right, for me, man, I'm gonna go Kirk. I'm gonna go Kirky. I'm gonna tell you why I'm gonna go Kirky, and it's a couple of points that you made, right? Run first offense on Cleveland. That's first and foremost. So don't get me wrong. Minnesota do run a lot. They have one of the top running backs in the group, and their play action is phenomenal. Obviously, you can see that with Thielen and Jeffries last year. Better wide receivers to me, in my opinion. That duo of Thielen and Jefferson.
All right.
Sick. It is Kirk Cousins last year in the contract. The reason why Minnesota drafted Mond is because they don't want to pay him again, and they're just trying to be cheap. They're trying to cut their salary. But Kirk is going to play for that next contract, is what he did in Washington. He's going to do the same thing in Minnesota. So personally, he's going to pass the ball a lot more. And they have better offenses in their division, like Green Bay, and so they're going to be playing from behind. So they're going to be forced to pass the ball a lot. So that's the reason why I'm going to go Kirk Cousins over Mayfield. Those are my pointers.
All right.
All valid. All valid. I get what you're saying, and I'm not going to argue with any of your statements, but you just said it. It is his last year. So I don't expect them to be a playoff team, and I expect them to go with Kellen Mond somewhere after a bye week, just like they always do with rookie round quarterback. I see this as another projection where I don't think Kirk Cousins makes it the entire season. And that's the only reason.
So real quick,
not statistically or anything.
So even with the talent that they have, the Jefferson and the Thielen and the Dalvin Cook, and history has shown that they always bounce back after an underperformed year. You still think that they're going to not make the playoffs?
Absolutely. Minnesota still doesn't have a good defense. They ranked 25th out of 32 teams last year. And they didn't. I think the most significant pickup they had was Patrick Peterson. Good player, don't get me wrong, but that defense had a lot of holes. Edge defense, defensive line. So you fixed a problem, you didn't fix it, and they couldn't because they didn't have a salary to do that.
Yeah.
No, their salary cap. So yeah, I don't think they're going to be a defensive.
But what happened to a team when they don't have a defense though? Like they pass the ball more to try to stay in games. So
yeah, and I agree with you.
Remember, this is fantasy. It's
not going to be him.
You think it's going to be Mon? I don't think Mon is probably going to. It all depends on where they are in the division. If they still have an opportunity to make the playoff, they're not going to put Mon in to see what Mon is going to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, you have a valid point in regards to that. They have no obligation to Kirk other than if they're winning, Kirk is not coming out.
Yeah, they need
agreed,
to get Kirk
but I just don't see them winning, and that's the thing. They were very sketchy. He was quick to almost get pulled last year. I just don't think they had anything viable last year to pull him with. I mean, Kirk Cousins in a couple halves had a negative rating.
But he came back in that exact same game, though. That's the thing.
It's not about what happened in the beginning.
It's not what happened in the first quarter. It happened at the end of the game. So fantasy-wise, I would rather Kirk because as you mentioned, he's a Mayfield actor. It's a run-first offense. Better weapons is on Minnesota. Better running back is on Minnesota. Worse defense is on Minnesota, which is going to cause them to pass the ball a lot more. They're going to be behind a lot more. So, barring them trying to see what Mon is, I think Kirk Cousins is a better fantasy player in the beginning of the season, at least for the first 8 games.
I'll agree with you. I'll agree with you on that.
Let's go with Justin Herbert or Russell Wilson.
All right. Who go first?
Randy, you first.
Man, I wanted him to go first on everything.
That's actually a tough one,
Yeah, that's
for
tough.
me. For me, man, I'm gonna go with I'm going to go with Russell Wilson. And the reason why I'm going to go with Russell Wilson is because he has been doing it for the past, ever since he got into the league. I think the worst year he ever had was his rookie season. He uses his legs, but he doesn't use his legs to like score a touchdown or whatever. He uses his legs to go ahead and create plays. You know what I mean? He has two dynamic weapons in Lockett and Metcalf. Decent running back in the backfield. And I think this season they're gonna make it a point of their duty after he called them out in the summer. They're gonna make it a point of duty to protect the dude. He's the most sacked quarterback in the league, other behind Watson. They go back to back every year, but I think they're gonna make it a point to give him time and protect him. And if they protect him, and that boy can pick apart a defense, man. Yeah. So I think Russell Wilson uses his legs limitedly, but these guys are going to get peppered with targets. I know they want to run first, but they don't have running back that can stay healthy, so they can't put too much on them in Carson or Penny. So I expect a lot of pass by Wilson. So Wilson is probably in the top 5 quarterback, finishing the top 5 like he always does.
All right. What you got, Khalil?
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you on basically everything you said. Russell is a 4,000 yard, 35 touchdown player consistently for the last couple of years. We're talking about a vet versus a second year player. We saw what Justin Herbert did. Is he the next Patrick Mahomes, or is he going to be the next Baker RG3?
Right.
Or is he going to be somewhere in between?
Right.
I mean, what he did last year was fantastic. He had 4,000 yards, 31 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. That is a veteran type numbers that we're seeing right now. My biggest concern is he's going from an offensive minded coach that was a quarterback coach in Anthony Lynn to a defensive minded first year coach in Lombardi and a QB coach that's now turned into a offensive coordinator. So do I think there's going to be some growing pains? Yeah. Are we going to see a regression from year 1 to year 2? Yeah, I think the fins and the pats show how you can kind of curtail or stop Herbert in the long run. So based on that, with a solid veteran like Russell, I'm always going to go with Russell. And I think Justin's still going to have a good year. I just don't know if it's going to be 4,000 yards, 31 touchdowns, 10 interceptions.
You mean Justin Herbert?
This year. Justin Herbert, yeah.
Right.
Question for you guys before I move on to the next question about that. Do you think Justin Herbert is going to be a top 10 fantasy quarterback? That's a question for both of you guys.
Personally, yes. I think Justin Herbert has the capability of being a top quarterback because he has his legs. Dude has 5 rushing touchdowns in the limited capacity that he started. So I expect that to go up probably like 7 or 8. So that right there, is a lot of fantasy points there. And he can pass, and he has great wide receivers in Mike Williams and Keenan Allen. You know what I mean? So I expect. I agree with Khalil that there possibly be some regression, but I don't think it's going to be that detrimental to where he's knocked out of the top 10 because, as I said, he can use his legs and the dude has an arm. He's accurate. The mere fact that one of the things that Khalil used as a con, though, I'm going to use as a pro, the mere fact that you have a quarterback coach that's about to be an offensive coordinator, they usually call plays that's beneficial to the quarterbacks. Yep. So I can see where he could benefit from that.
Yeah, I also think he'll be a top 10 quarterback. I mean, let's face it. Is there any? I don't know. I just don't see 10 better quarterbacks than Justin Herbert. I mean, your veterans. Yeah. Then you got your Kyler Murrays. You got Joe Burrow that we see in half of the year. I don't think you can. I don't think you can. Say that he's not going to be a top 10 quarterback based on what you saw last year. I think he's a lock to be there. It's just how much does he regret?
Right.
Cool. All right. So moving on to the running backs now. So we got Mike Davis versus Myles Gaskin, and I think you're up, Khalil.
I know where Ben's going to go with this. I know where Ben's going to go with this.
Just don't be biased.
Mike Davis.
Don't be biased.
Hey, just go there.
I think there's a lot of hate with Myles Gaskin because he's tiny and, he's not the typical prototype running back that you look for. And I get it. He's a 7th round pick, but he took over as a featured back in Miami in week 3. And all the guy did was play 10 games, got 983 total yards and 5 touchdowns. When you really look at it, I mean, it's not great, but, you know, he's playing behind a makeshift offensive line that was still a rookie. And he was still able to carve out 98 yards per game, which is pretty decent. Last year, Mike Davis had a really good year. He had a 1,000-yard year, but that was his only 1,000-yard year in his entire career. And so, you know, he's never been a featured back. I don't expect him to be a featured back in Atlanta. You know, there is a running back by committee that's going to still be there with Cordarrelle Patterson. They may look to get another young running back to be in the fold as well. I believe Miami's going to have a better year offensively. So I only see him at least getting back to what he was last year, which is right around a 1,000-yard player. Maybe Mike Davis might get there. To me, I think the best player here is Gaskin.
All right. For me, I'm gonna go Mike Davis.
Mm-hmm.
Had the dude last year. He was, he did me well, man. He did me well when McCaffrey was down. But not only that, as you said, dude had over 1,000 yards. And you know, granted, that's the only 1,000-yard that he has. I mean, I can tell you another running back that's getting drafted in the first round, and he only has 1,000-yard season, Saquon Barkley, and yet he's still in the first round. So having one 1,000-yard season doesn't necessarily mean it's a break. Because if you look at the offense of Atlanta is a pass-first offense, which means it's going to be light boxes for him, right? When he was when he came in for McCaffrey, you know, they pretty much stocked the box on him because they know, and all they were doing is just tossing in passes and stuff like that. Now that he's in on Atlanta, where it's a pass first offense, you have Ridley, you have Gage, you have Pitts. You know, you know, there's going to be a lot of passes, and it's going to be light boxes. So I expect him to do well. I mean, the what ifs, a lot of people have the what if. Everybody feel like they're going to bring another running back in. At this point, at this particular day, on this day, there is none. So he's the lone back. He has the backfield for himself. You saw all the touchdowns that Gurley had last year. He's a better running back than Gurley as far as right now goes, as far as health goes. I'm not talking about talent as, you know, career talent. I'm talking about today. Okay. Today, he's a better running back than Gurley. There's a reason why Gurley hasn't been signed to any teams yet, because of his knees injuries. So Mike Davis is just a stronger component and somebody you can put in, and he's a running back one. Like, he has no competition in the backfield. You see Gaskins there because of how small he is. I can expect him to have some goal lines snatched away from him. I don't see that happening to Mike Davis, moving forward.
Right.
That's a fair assessment. You know, from the 20s to the 20s, you know, I think Gaskin is probably the better player.
Yep.
Mike Davis will probably get you more touchdowns. You know, in this regard too, Atlanta has a bad defense. So if we're gonna say that, you know, Kirk Cousins is gonna be playing behind, Atlanta has to be playing behind a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you know, and so
I agree with
how
that.
it's going to factor, you know, when they're getting blown out.
But Mike Davis has hands too. It's not like Mike Davis can't catch. You get what I'm saying? That's part of the reason I didn't bring Dalvin Cook up. Like, Cook is still going to get his regardless. You know, they're them playing from behind. So Mike Davis has hands. He can catch the ball. He already proven that last year, and he can go between the tackles. So he's an all around back. He's just not like, you know, your typical prototype of a featured back, but he has no competition in the backfield at this moment, man. So I expect him to get a bulk of the carries. He's going to get those goal line rushes as well, because you know Matt Ryan ain't running for nobody. So I expect him to just get the volume, especially the goal line rushes. And I think, you know, I can foresee him having like an 8 to 12 touchdown season, and that's where the money is going to be.
All right. So let's go with Cam Akers versus Austin Eckler.
Ah, man. This one. I like this one. I like these two players. So I'm gonna go with Eckler, right? Eckler, dude has tenure. He was averaging 4.57 yard per carry last year. That's significant. The dude has hands, as you know. Yeah, he's a smaller back, but he's so dynamic that it doesn't even matter. He can be that feature back. There's really nobody there taking carries away from him in regards to Justin Jackson or Kelly. Like none of them are competing with him for touches. Cam Akers, on the other hand, yes, he is in a great offensive line, but Henderson's still there. A lot of people are forgetting about that guy. That guy was taking a lot of carries away from him last year, and I expect him to have them do the same again this year. So while it's not going to be a 50-50 split out there, it's going to be more like a 60-40, 75-25 type deal, while Austin Eckler is mostly going to have a release. So I expect Eckler to finish as a running back one and to just have a really ridiculous year. And if you look at the offense, that offense with Justin Herbert, it seems like they're going to be a pass-first offense, which is going to just free up Eckler, and Eckler is going to get a lot of that dump-down passes like he was getting last year. He already had that chemistry with Herbert, so I expect that to continue. And now that they have another season under their belt, it's just going to be fantasy heaven, man, between him and Herbert.
What about you, Cole?
This one was a hard one. I'm not even gonna lie. I like both of them too. I think they're both really great running backs.
Yeah.
I am leaning to the opposite side though. Cam Akers. I've watched this kid because he played at Florida State. And apart from Dalvin Cook, he was the second best running back to ever come out of Florida State. Yep. We saw what he could do last year toward the end of the season. He had 3 TDs, and I guess against Dallas, was it? With 196 rushing yards. He can catch the ball just like Dalvin. He is a 3-down back. He can block, catch, run. I know he split time with Henderson, and I know that's going to be a big concern. But the last great running back that the Rams had with McVay was Todd Gurley, and he broke every stinking touchdown record rushing. So I see that with Cam Akers because he's a bruiser. I think I know he has injury concerns, but for me, both great running backs. I can see the arguments on both sides, but for me, I think Cam Akers is going to have a breakout year this year, even with Henderson there, because he's going to be the one that gets the goal line touches.
I don't want to sing Kumbaya, but yeah, it's kind of split in the air between these two.
All right, so we got another. In years past, this would have probably been easy, but this year is going to be a tough one. So with the wide receivers moving on, we got Keenan Allen versus Allen Robinson.
It's on you, man.
I struggled with this one too.
Yeah, I told you it's a tough one.
I think Foles is a great quarterback. And I think he has a good rapport with Matt Nagy. They had a good rapport when they played in Philly. Allen Robinson is still a really good wide receiver. And to me, it just looks at what they did production-wise last year. And Allen Robinson actually had a better season with a Mitchell Trubisky throwing him the ball. Mm-hmm. So he had 1,250 yards, 6 touchdowns. With everybody throwing the ball. Yeah, he had 1,250 yards, 6 touchdowns. Keenan Allen had 992 yards, 8 touchdowns. Allen Robinson had a better year last year, and I foresee him having the same kind of year. I kind of see what I think Keenan Allen's going to have the same year as he did last year. I don't think it was terrible. It was a good year.
Yeah.
But I think in here, for me, I'm going to go with Allen Robinson.
All right. For me, man, I'm going to go Keenan Allen. Here's why. All right. So Allen Robinson did finish ahead of Keenan Allen. Allen Robinson was, wide receiver 9th? Keenan Allen was wide receiver 12. Allen Robinson played 2 more games than Keenan Allen. Yes, he had a quarterback woes, and he's still going to have that quarterback woes this year because he's going to probably have between Fields and Dalton. He's going to have at some point in the season that's going to be passed over, right? But this is why I like Keenan Allen. Less game played. He already starting to develop that chemistry with Herbert. I think that offense is so dynamic. It's going to come out it's going to be a pass first offense. as you mentioned earlier in the show, they have a quarterback coach as a offensive coordinator. So I think they're going to call plays for the quarterbacks a lot. And Keenan Allen just continued to produce year after year. Ever since he had that ACL, everybody, like, this dude is just not getting the respect. And he's finished as the top, like a running wide receiver one every single year. And now he has a better quarterback that can pass the ball wherever he is on the field. And this dude switch up, like, he lines up anywhere. Like, he's in the slot a lot. Yeah, Mike Williams is going to take those long balls, but he will take the intermediate end up and the slot, and he just continued to produce. I just expect him to getting peppered with targets, have a better year than last year. If he stay healthy through 16 games, I expect him to be like at least top 5 wide receiver this year.
Wow, I don't know if I'd say top 5.
There's nobody there to compete.
Nobody there.
There ain't nobody there to compete with him for wide receiver.
I disagree with the top 5 as well. I disagree with that.
All right, give me 5 wide receiver that you think is going to finish better than him.
DK Metcalf, DeAndre Hopkins.
I don't think DK. So that's 4. Yeah. What's the 5th one?
Tyreek Hill.
I don't think.
What?
I don't think Tyreek Hill.
I think you're right, man. P. I'm going to switch up because I think that's outside.
And then we're not even talking about Devontae Adams.
I think he's going to be. Yeah, I think he's going to be in the top 10. Top 5 is
Calvin Ridley.
Yeah.
These are the wide receivers I would put over him. I'll put Hill, Diggs, Hopkins, Ridley. I don't think I'll put Metcalf over him this year.
Oh wow!
Yeah, that's a shocker. That's a shocker.
Wow.
Yeah, it's easy. You'll see, man. You'll see how they finish.
I think you might lose multiple points for that one.
Wow. Yeah. Wow.
I don't foresee him. Listen, man. The dude. Listen. So Keenan Allen played 14 games, right? He finished with 992 yards. How many games did Herbert play with Keenan Allen? He didn't start producing until Herbert came in. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he generated all his points with Herbert. And now he's going to have Herbert for a full season plus an off season.
Wait a minute, but Herbert only missed like 1 or 2 games last year.
What are you talking about?
Herbert missed 2 games, but Keenan Allen also missed 2 games. He missed 2 games at the same time.
Right. So and it wasn't the same time. So it's 4 games he didn't play with Herbert.
Yeah. Yeah, so
I think he's going to be a top 10 receiver. But
I think top
5.
10.
Top 5? No.
I'm gonna be bold with it and say he's going to finish top 5.
Ooh,
Keenan Allen. Keenan,
you go be bold.
Prediction.
Go be bold.
Keenan Allen is going to finish top 5, man.
All right.
Yeah. So we all know who you're drafting.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's on my radar for sure.
All right, so we got this one's going to be pretty interesting too. So Deebo Samuel versus Jarvis Landry. That's it right there, right? You know what Jarvis can do.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you. Here's where it's gonna get crazy. I'm gonna go Deebo Samuels, and this is why I'm gonna go Deebo Samuels. I'm gonna go Deebo Samuels because of Lance, not because of Garoppolo. So I just think like Lance coming in is just going to add so much to that offense, and with Ayuk and Deebo, I just think that the face or the what we know San Francisco as, like a run happy offense, is going to continue. But I feel like they're going to pass a lot more now that they have a quarterback that can actually pass the ball down the field. And Deebo is just going to be that dynamic. I mean, remember last season he was injured for most part, and the season before that, his rookie season, he started coming on at the end of the year. So we really haven't seen what Deebo have. I think Jarvis Landry is on the last leg of his career. Like, he's on the back end of his career. Not only that, it's his buddies coming back, and this is a run first offense in Cleveland. So even though both teams are kind of run first, too many mouths to feed out in Cleveland compared to Deebo Samuel and possibly Sermon or whoever the running back is, Mozart, whatever. That's all they have because there's no other wide receiver out there to do anything really.
All right, what you got, Khalil?
Give
look like he's going to go the opposite direction.
Give me juice.
Khalil going the opposite
Please
direction.
Please put some respect on Jarvis Landry's name.
I'm not playing for history, man. I'm playing for future. So we can talk about what he did in the past.
We're talking fantasy this year, not 2 years from now. We're talking this year.
This year,
and all Jarvis has done is catch 72 receptions last year. The dude that you said is on a decline. Yes, this is his third year that's gone down from 72 receptions, but he's still one of the most durable wide receivers in the game.
Yep.
He's always on the field, and I don't know about you. But the only way you can actually get stats is to actually play a game, which Debo hasn't done at all. Debo had an injury-plagued second season for a wide receiver. I'm sorry, but that slows your growth. I don't care if you have Trey Lance or Crappolo or Garoppolo or whatever the hell you want to call him.
All right. So
you need someone, and you need someone to actually, be on the field to play. Right. And you said it up. You said a few things. The 49ers strength is running the ball. I think they were number 2 or number 1 last year in running the ball.
Yep. Hey, you're forced to run the ball when you don't have a quarterback, bro. That's how you have to look at that. You're forced to run the ball when you don't have a good quarterback. And guess what? They didn't have. They didn't have a good quarterback. They had Garoppolo. So my back to Jarvis Landry, Juice. All right, Juice. I'm not playing for history, bro. The dude finished as the 36 wide receiver. He played 15 games and finished as 36 wide receiver. You want to know what's going to happen when Odell come back? He's not going to get all those targets. I hate to tell you, not going to get all those targets. So Odell's coming back,
and there's not enough targets.
And there's not enough target as it is. You can't have Odell out for majority of the season, and you play majority of the season and finish as what?
36.
Wide receiver 36?
So let me get this straight. So, because you're saying that Odell is the dominant figure, and Jarvis is
which is going to take targets away from
that. And I get all that.
Right.
We're talking about an established quarterback that has offensive weapons all over the place. With a quarterback that you don't know if he's going to start next year, and you think that Debo is going to have a better year than Landry.
Yes, and listen, this is why I've seen what Trey Lance can do, and it seems like it's better than what I've seen from Garoppolo. I'll tell you that. There's a reason why these guys mortgage their franchise for the next 3 years to get this guy, right? It's not like they know, and it's one of the best coaches in the league that's coaching this offense, all right, in San Francisco. So coach is better, all right? Arguably, the quarterback is better, right? Arguably. And you have Jarvis Landry that's going to reduce in targets. The dude plays slot. The dude can play ball. I'm not saying Jarvis cannot play ball, but he played 15 games last year, finished as the 36 wide receiver with 72 targets. Yeah. With the number 1 wide receiver coming back in this offense. They're just not, and it's a run-first offense with Chubb and Hunt. There's just not enough ball to pass around for Jarvis Landry to be anything relevant other than like a wide receiver 5, to be honest with you.
All right, let's go. Let's go with the next question.
Okay, we're gonna
I just have to say one thing.
Go ahead. Say one more thing.
So Debo has not played a full season in 2 years, and
catch 2021.
That's fine. But until he plays a full season, he's not a better receiver than Jarvis Landry, fantasy-wise or other.
All right.
That's your opinion.
All right. So moving on, we have some heavy hitters here. So we have DeAndre Hopkins versus DK Metcalf. Who's going to have the better fantasy year?
KALEEL about to go DK.
That's on KALEEL, man. Yeah. Let's go. Run it.
Yeah, he's sweating.
I know. The conventional wisdom says to take DeAndre, and again, this is split hairs for me. But DK had actually a really good year last year, and he's actually improved over his rookie season. So last year, he ended up with 83 receptions, 1,300 yards, and 10 touchdowns. And to me, I think that's going to go up this year again. They don't have a legit red zone target other than DK Metcalf, and he is 6'4", built like a tight end, runs like a sprinter, and can catch the ball. So to me, I think he's clearly going to be the target in the red zone. 2, while I love DeAndre Hopkins, he hasn't had a double-digit touchdown season since 2018. And I think he's going to have basically the same season that he had last year. There's some new weapons in
Arizona.
In Arizona. They've got, I believe, Rondell Moore, and they've got AJ Green. So, that I think in itself is going to kind of limit him from getting a little bit more receptions in the red zone.
All right.
So he's going the opposite direction.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
This has probably been the best
for sure.
we had.
Yeah.
For sure. I'm going to go Diop, man. Hopkins, quarterback proof, as you know. Yes, I agree with you. Hasn't had a double-digit touchdown season, but the dude continued to do over 1,000 yards every season. All right, so let me poke some holes into your DK glorified.
Jesus.
You know what I mean? So, all right. So, this is the thing about DK that you're failing to identify. So they want to be a running team, right? DK points and DK yardage all came in the first 8-9 game of the season when Russ was cooking, and then they decided, like, dude, we can't do this. This is not our identity. We're going to go ahead and run the ball more. And ever since that, DK yardage for the rest of the season, week 10 on, 28, 48. Yes, he had 177 yards and an 80, but 60, 43, 59, 21. Those are his yardage afterwards. So what that tells me, the offensive, Seahawks offense is planning on changing their identity to a run-first offense. And DK is not going to be that top 5 wide receiver that you guys are thinking, because I don't think Russ is going to cook as much as he was cooking in the beginning of the season. Beginning of the season, yeah, DK had like 95 yards, 92 yards, 110, 100. So that's where and then they just changed their identity. And they even said it now that they're going into the season with the philosophy of running the ball. And that's what they want to do.
With Chris Carson coming back also, that dropped into his numbers a lot too.
Exactly. So if that's the dynamic of that, how can I go ahead and say, hey, I'm going to go ahead and pick DK over Diop? Diop is going to get those passes from
down.
What's that?
Touchdown.
Dude, in the last 8 games of the season, you know how many touchdowns DK had?
No,
2.
I don't.
Okay, 2. So if you think DK is this, double-digit touchdown every game, you got it all wrong, son. So you have to look at the stats, bro. You have to look at the stats. And I'm expecting...
I'm looking at the stats. He clearly had a better season than D-Hop.
Yeah, the reason why he had a better season than D-Hop is because D-Hop quarterback went down, was injured, and he was nursing that injury for the ending of the season. Kyler Murray was injured.
That's not my problem.
It's not your problem. No,
that's not my problem.
But we're not talking about the history, though. We're talking about the future. So Kyler Murray healthy all season.
But we are.
Kyler Murray healthy all season is going to be based on the offenses. Kyler Murray healthy all season is gonna pose way better for Hopkins than it's gonna pose for DK that's planning on running.
Hey, yo, I'm gonna let y'all boys know this right now. Battle Mondays is way better than First Take.
Not sure if you guys heard, but Jalen Ramsey was on a podcast a couple days ago, and he said that he was asked what are the toughest wide receivers for him to cover. D-Hop was number 1. Number 2 was Odell, and number 3 was Julio. And his take on D-Hop was you put him with any quarterback, and he's proven. That was essentially
the thing with me on my side of that. I would go with D-Hop, and here's the reason why. I love DK Metcalf. The problem, Lockett is over there, right? With D-Hop, there's nobody over there. Listen, we've been waiting on Christian Kirk to play for how long? Then you got a rookie in Rondell Moore.
Playing anymore.
I know, and that's the thing. And then you got Rondell Moore, who's a rookie, still learning, right? And now
AJ Green on the back end of his career.
So those guys are going to get the ball, but that's just to get the cover off of D-Hop, right? And eventually that ball's going right back to D-Hop. With Seattle, it's going to be going Lockett, DK, Lockett, DK, Carson, Lockett, DK, Carson.
You just have to throw the ball in. You just have to throw the ball in D-Hop's area, and he's getting it. Just throw it up in the area, and he's getting it. It doesn't matter how tall, how short.
Statistically, it says otherwise. But
I got you. I just think this year is going to be different. You know what I mean?
Listen, I understand because I thought when I looked this up, I was like, nah, clearly this is deep. You know, this is DeAndre. I would take Luke over anybody.
Yeah.
Until I started digging into the numbers.
It's different.
it's just different to me. And that's the only
Listen,
reason why
I just don't look at overall numbers when I'm looking, like, doing my analysis. I look at the offense, and then I look at, like, game logs. If you listen to the show, if you listen to Lockercode, you'll actually, guys, I will bring up game logs and tell you, like, yo, the reason why this is happening is because of this. If you really look at their game log, this is, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like to look at game log. So when I look at Metcalf game log and realize, like, he's so front heavy as far as his stats go, I was like, and then Pete Carroll coming out and saying that, his identity is running the ball. He wants to run the ball. It makes me, and it's kind of the counter what Russell Wilson was saying, that he's getting sacked so much. He was like, he wants to run the ball, because if you run the ball, you don't get sacked that much.
Yeah.
So
historically, wide receivers always have a great start to the year and kind of taper off to the end. So that's the logic where I don't. Yes, and I know his numbers actually kind of went down dramatically, but to me,
I can tell you a couple of pass catches that goes up.
He became very inconsistent towards the mid to the end of the year, and I think that's to what Ren's point of running and Chris Carson coming back where they can actually run the football. So
agreed.
Those are all factors that played into it.
All right, yo. So let's, as you guys know, we're in a keeper league, right? So let's get to keepers, right? By the way, KALEEL, who are you keeping?
I can tell because I don't really care.
I mean,
it's already locked in, so you can tell.
Bro.
Yeah, Gibson.
Gibson? Yeah.
Oh, Gibson.
I knew it was Gibson, bro.
And there was a few. There's a few that I could pick from.
Yeah, but I just knew it was Gibson. It was like right in the middle. I think fourth or fifth round that you got him at or something.
No, I got him in the ninth.
Yeah,
right. And I got CD in the 10th, and I didn't know which one to keep.
Yeah,
I want to thank you for that, KALEEL, because with that turf toe, I didn't want him to fall to me, and I didn't.
I appreciate that, bro.
I mean, I appreciate that. You saved me a headache.
That was a real question.
You're gonna feel guilty if you pick another player over him, right? You're gonna be like, man.
Yeah, I'm glad you did that, man. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
Man, you're a great guy, bro. I appreciate it, bro. Kudos to you.
I can disclose mine too.
It's Henry, bro. We all know, bro. Come on, man. That's not
that's the only thing you had good on your team anyway.
What's
that?
So that's the only thing you had good on your team anyway. So we all know that's why I don't keep
Jesus.
Jesus.
But just since I'm being transparent, I when Paul was saying who said their keeper wasn't keeping and staying in, I went in to check on mine. Mine got kicked out as well. So I was like, and then I just changed it, like literally at that time. I just changed it to JK in the 7th.
JK in the 7th. I'm going to be available.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
JK in the 7th.
Right.
I thought that should have been your play. I think he's gonna have a good season this year.
Yeah.
And the value alone. Listen, I think you can listen. But there's a good opportunity if you can still end up.
I'm still get a first rounder, and I can still end up with. I can't disclose it until because I saw.
It's going to be a crowded first rounder, man. It's going to be crowded. All right, man. So we talking about keepers, man. Let's get to the first keeper question. Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill in the 2nd versus Robert Woods in the 6th.
Is it on me or on him?
I'll jump at it. It's on you. Let's go with that.
All right. For me, I'm going to go Robert Woods. The reason why I'm going to go Robert Woods, value, new quarterback. The new quarterback is a better passing quarterback than the one he had before. Tyreek Hill, while he's a great wide receiver, he's inconsistent as hell. This week he can give you like 2 games that he racked up like 30, 40 points. And then the following week, he'll give you like 10 points. You know what I mean? I want that consistency. I like my wide receiver to have that consistency. And now with Matthew Stafford out there in LA, I expect Robert Wood will still get that consistency and even more passes. They have less mouth to feed now. With the tight ends, going away and all that, less tight end, only one now. So I just expect Robert Woods to have a lot more target. And then the round value that I'm getting for Robert Woods, I can easily get like a D-Hop with my 2nd round pick, which I will be fine with. A D-Hop, Metcalf, any one of these guys in the 2nd round that I will be fine with, and plus Robert Woods.
All right. So I guess 88 receptions, 1,200 yards, and 15 touchdowns is inconsistent, but sure. We'll go with what you said.
See, there you go. You're looking at overall numbers, bro.
Listen, that's fine. But here's the thing: Tyreek Hill alone won me games last year.
Yeah.
When my team was absolute crap. When I had injuries all over the place, Tyreek Hill won me games. So I'm going to take Tyreek Hill because the value alone in Tyreek Hill in the second round is just that. And listen,
how much valuable is Tyreek Hill? My thing is to that. You're talking about value in the second round for Tyreek Hill. How much valuable is Tyreek Hill over a Metcalf, over a Adams, over a you know what I mean? Metcalf, Adams, or Diop that we were just speaking about. How much more valuable is Tyreek Hill over those guys? I can get any one of those guys in the second round.
If those are already keepers, then I can't draft them.
Yeah,
that's so
that's true.
You know, so if you're telling me that I'm going to have a wide receiver in the second round that's supposed to be a first round talent, yeah, I'm taking him in the second round. I'm keeping him in the second round because that's good value. You know, I don't know what Robert Woods is going to give me with a new quarterback. First of all, and second of all, he is not the number one wide receiver in that offense. Cooper Kupp is. They also have DJ.
That's arguable.
Yeah, that's arguable.
It's arguable.
All right. So D-Jax is not going to stay healthy. He's going to play the first 2 games of the season. All right, but no.
Hold on. Please, I understand. I put D-Jax in there. I'm just saying that he's another body to get targets. Tutu Atwell is another body to get targets. Cooper Kupp is another body to get targets. So if you're telling me that Robert Woods is going to get anything close to what he can in the 6th round, then please advise me. But I don't see how. There's only so much you can throw this ball around.
Yeah, and they're going to throw it around because they have a quarterback that's capable of throwing it around in Stafford. And I expect that to happen. I expect a lot more passes, a lot better passes, a lot more down the field passes. So the yardage for Woods is going to go up for that. Woods, I mean, Tyreek Hill finished with only 300 yards more than Woods, right? Had same amount of targets, same amount of reception, pretty much. Tyreek Hill had 87
9 touchdowns more.
Right. 9 touchdowns more, but we have a better quarterback coming in now. Would you agree? You don't agree?
Quarterback. No, listen, I think Matthew Stafford has been underrated for years.
I agree with that.
He's been on terrible teams, and he's been stuck behind bad
offensive lines, and he's always produced. So now he has one of the best coaches, and what do you expect going to happen? It's going to remain the same. I expect everybody on that team to be better, including Woods.
I agree. I just don't know if he's going to be anything better than what he is right now.
What's the next question?
So we're going to move on here. Yeah. We're going to move on here to Kareem Hunt in the 5th versus Mike Davis in the 8th.
There you go.
And this goes to KALEEL.
Can someone tell me the difference between the amount of total yards Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt have?
Not that much, actually.
Probably like 150.
Less than 70 yards.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'm done.
But that's also because Chubbs was injured. But yeah. I agree with you.
And that's fine. But this is a two-headed backfield.
Yep.
Kareem Hunt is actually the better of the two reception-wise. Yep. And Kareem Hunt looks like he gets just as much touches at the goal line as Nick Chubb does. So I think Nick Chubb is actually a really good pick in the 5th round. I think Mike Davis is actually pretty good in the 8th round too.
You mean Kareem Hunt?
I'm sorry, Kareem Hunt. For me, I'm going to go with Kareem Hunt in the 5th just because of the total yards and touchdowns that he had, and he continues to produce even with Nick Chubb there.
All right.
Hey, man.
Yeah, I know you love Mike Davis. I know you're going to give me the reason why you love Mike Davis.
I already spilled the beans on Mike Davis. I'm getting Mike Davis ADP is going in the 4th round right now. I'm getting 4 rounds of value on Mike Davis. He has no competition. He has no competition in the backfield. He has a better passing offense, which is going to free up the box for him to do his thing. And he has a quarterback that's never going to run the ball. So any goal line work, he's going to get it. So I expect his touchdowns to go up. I expect his yardage to go up. I just think and then you have the round value on top of that. So I'm going to go with Mike Davis in that because I don't have anything to worry about. I can put the dude in, barring injury. I can put the dude in and not have to worry that somebody's going to steal goal line touches or steal anything from him. With Kareem Hunt, there's a possibility where Chubb runs it in this time, or maybe it's Kareem Hunt. But Chubb is going to be so involved in that offense. It's just not. It's a split backfield, and don't get me wrong. Hunt is not a backup for Chubb. Hunt is his own running back. You know what I mean? But I just like the put in and don't worry about it, and plus the round value that I'm getting on Mike Davis. I'll take that all day.
Are you guys? I mean, Khalil, with you, are you scared that now we were originally talking about Cleveland before that there's going to be more with with Odell coming back, right? With OBJ coming back now, there's more mouths to feed. Do you think that's going to eat into what Hunt is doing now?
No, I still think they're a run first team. So, I still think that Kareem is going to get his. I think Nick Chubb's going to get his. And I think that offense is predicated on them running the ball first, and then the passing will open up from there.
All right.
So for me, I think Kareem. To me, I think Mike Davis going in the first, fourth round in ADP is absolute nuts. I don't see how. I don't see it. I don't see a career journeyman.
Starter though, but he's a starter.
Yeah, there's no competition.
That's fine. I can't see a career journeyman that had one good season is all of a sudden now going to be the savior at running back position for that Atlanta Falcons.
But it's a high-powered offense, though.
That's fine.
Mozart, you know who did that?
Mozart. Yeah. Mozart did it. Yeah, still doing it. All right, so let's go to the next question.
He's going to lose his starting gig this year, though.
Nah, I don't think so. They're two power heads in the 49ers. They're two power heads. It's always going to be
Trey Sermon?
Yeah.
Yeah, eventually.
It's two power heads. I mean, there's two running backs. It's running back by committee up in 49ers, so I don't think he's going to lose his position. I think we had that conversation before. Even if he gets hurt, he's coming back to take his position just like he did last year. But I think it's going to be both of them there. If he loses his position, it's going to be at the end of the year when the season's done. It's gone. Let's go to the next question, man. This final question, which I think is very interesting. We got James Conner in the 7th versus David Johnson in the 8th. If any one of y'all say David Johnson, the show's gonna be done.
Hey, I'm just gonna say who. I'm not even gonna say anything else other than who. I'm gonna go with James Conner. I'm sorry. There's just too many. All right, it's a sorry team in Texas. Too many mouths to feed. Like they have Burkhead, Lindsey, him, Ingram. Like I don't even know who's the starter. Like they have to shake this all out. By the end of the day, David Johnson could end up being like a backup running back out there on the Texans. So at least the only person that kind of has to compete with is Chase Edmonds, and he probably take over for Chase Edmonds as being the first and second down running back, while Chase be the third down back. You know what I mean? So I'm going to go with Conner on this. I know it's a round different, but Conner just seems like the viable choice here.
I think Conner may take over.
Yeah, me too.
Uh-oh. I see the head bouncing back and forth. There you go.
I'm sorry. I just woke up. I'm sorry. I fell asleep. Next.
I guess that's the end of that.
Well, but seriously, if these two are your keepers, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I can't even argue with Ren on this one, man. Like, yeah, let's just go with Conner. That's fine.
Just call it a day. All right. Do you think Conner's going to start? Do you think there's actually two more questions for you before we end the show here? First question is, do you think Conner's going to start over Chase Edmonds? That's one. Second question is, do you think Drake going to Las Vegas is going to take over that Josh Jacobs position?
Or not take over, but do you think it's going to be a split back?
Yeah, exactly. That too.
Well, let's start with James Conner. James Conner might start the season as the lead running back. He won't end the season as the lead running back because he'll be injured.
I can see that.
Okay. I would like to see if Arizona could give Chase Edmonds a real shot at that running back one position to see what they got. And if we already know what James Conner is, he's a good running back when healthy, and he's always injured. I'd like to see Chase Edmonds get the opportunity. If it doesn't work, then they know what they need to do next year in the off season. But to me, I think James Conner starts. I don't think he ends. In terms of Kenyon Drake and Josh Jacobs, I don't think he'll go there to be the starter. I think it'll be a running back by committee approach there. Josh Jacobs is a good running back. I just, for some reason, like he'll give you that great game, and then you won't know who Josh Jacobs is for 2 games. You know, and then he'll come out and give you an average game again.
All right, what you got, Ren? Don't tell me you're agreeing on this too.
Connor. All right, Connor is going to be the starter. Connor is a bigger back. Chase Edmonds had an opportunity last year when Drake was out, and he did nothing. And that's where they realized, like, yeah, he can't go between tackles. Yeah, he's a good back to, like, you know, dumb down to on the outside, and he can, you know, make people miss and all that good stuff. But going between the tackle is just not Chase Edmonds' MO, and that's where that's the reason why Connor will be the starter. I agree with KALEEL that the dude just can't stay healthy for nothing. As far as the Kenyon Drake goes, I don't understand, like, why. I didn't understand that signing. But based on the money, man, I can't expect them. I don't expect them to have Drake just sitting on the bench. So I think he's going to cut into that part of it. He's going to cut into, like, the catches. As a matter of fact, I mean, Jacobs doesn't catch anyways. So that is the other thing. So Jacobs doesn't catch. What do you had? 1 catch the entire season last year?
Yep.
So that is terrible as a running back, right? So
but he could catch though coming out of college.
Yeah, he could catch coming out of college, so I'm shocked that they don't use him in that aspect. So that's the part that I think Kenyon Drake is going to cut into his touches. And if you're drafting Josh Jacobs, I would suggest you draft Kenyon Drake as a backup, because if not, because if Josh should go down, Kenyon Drake is skyrocket.
Yeah, he's going.
Yeah, he's skyrocketed all the way up, because he's going to get all the carries, all the touches, and everything like that. So that would be a great handcuff heading into the season. So yeah, Josh Jacobs, it's not one that I'm looking at either. So that's that. Just because of Kenyon Drake.
Yeah, he'll take Mike Davis over Josh Jacobs.
Possibly.
Same here.
Yeah.
Same here.
Possibly.
Why go with a running back that's in a committee?
Yeah.
Because I think Mike Davis is going to be in a running back in committee.
From where? There's nobody there.
I believe they will find someone else.
It's just, I mean, remember, that's the same thing they said last year with Todd Gurley. And if it was Todd Gurley's knee, remember, they were saying, oh, Todd Gurley's done. He can't be the one they're going into the season with, and blah, 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 and all that good stuff. And guess who they went into the season with?
Hey, and also,
Todd Gurley.
Remember, one of the key things, they ain't got no money, bro.
Yeah.
And Mike,
That's true.
And Mike looks good in camp. Like, he looks
he's
the best shape of his life.
He bulked up.
Yeah.
All right, man.
So,
that's it for Battle Mondays, man. How you boys? You loved it? You liked it? What's up, KALEEL? I know Ren loves this joint. He loves battle anyways.
I love battling, so I'll battle with anybody anytime.
Hey, man. I came on this Battle Monday, prepare every player on the list. Everyone, because I said I will not agree with anything that he said.
You guys only agreed twice. You guys only agreed twice on 8 questions.
Not gonna lie, this was a great battle for both ends, man. I still don't know who won this one. This was a great battle.
We came with context, man. We came with facts and context, and you know what I mean? Like, that's what it's all about, man. That's what you got,
P? What you got, P? I'm at a tie, man. I like both of them, man. They came with both concepts.
You see how you are? You over here throwing
Oh, my bad.
A lot of it was splitting hairs. You guys only agreed twice. Yeah. A lot of it was splitting hairs. It's preference, you know. Yeah. Like, I'm gonna lean towards Ren, because I prefer D-Hop over DK. I prefer Mike Davis over Gaskin, but that Mike Davis and Gaskin is splitting hairs. The only question that I think that I really agreed with Ren over KALEEL would have been, I would take Woods in the 6 over Tyreek in the 2. I agree with all your points, KALEEL, about Tyreek. However, like, the value that I'm getting with Woods in the 6 surpasses the value that I would be getting with Tyreek.
I mean,
I
that's
don't agree with
opinion.
that one. I agree with the Hill over the Woods situation. I agree. Actually, I agree with the Myles Gaskins over the Mike Davis situation because I think Mike Davis is going to get the ball, but he's not going to get the ball as much because they're going to be throwing that ball a lot. Tua needs to get that ball out of his hands. He needs to get it to Gaskins, which is closer. The ball's going to be everywhere. But I do like the Hill situation more than I like Woods because I think at the end of the year it's going to be either Kupp, Akers, Woods, maybe whoever their tight end is going to be, maybe Deshaun Jackson. There's so many heads over there. But with the Hill situation, I know it's going to be Hill or Kelsey. Everybody else is just going to come in and out. 2 catches here, 1 catches there. But it is going to be Hill and Kelsey. To Ren's point, man, Hill can have 30 points one game and then 12 points next game. So
and Hill is going to win like
he's
Khalil
going to win
said,
you games.
Hill would guarantee single-handedly win you at least 2 of your fantasy games.
Yeah, easy.
He's going to have 55 plus points at least twice.
You just better hope that's when the game that nobody else does nothing so you can be even at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, but definitely was dope, man. Definitely enjoyed it, man. Definitely crazier than other competitions here, man. I'm just trying to figure out who's going to be the best one here, man. This is the best Battle Mondays, man.
Actually, we got the best.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
Hey, Khaleel, no worries, man. What we're going to do, we're going to come up with questions for these two because I want to see these two battle. That's what I want to see. I want to see these two battle.
You know ain't going to be no agreements. No agreements with me and Paul, man.
I only battle with people that make the playoffs.
Oh, here you go with that. Yeah. Boy just made the playoffs, so he's going to talk trash.
These two wouldn't qualify. You can only battle me.
Oh, man. All right.
Here, bro. This guy here, yo.
You know when y'all want to play
Man,
some
it was
bets,
dope,
right?
man. Once again, check us out on Lockercode.com for all your fantasy needs. Yo, Khaleel, thank you for coming on the show, my dude.
Appreciate y'all.
Appreciate you coming through. It's dope.
Appreciate you coming through, Khalil.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, for real.
Yo, check us out
man.
on Lockercode.com,
Can I do it again?
Twitter,
And
everything.
thanks for telling who your keeper is.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you for keeping your keeper, bro. I mean, that's real rap, bro.
You do Jonathan Taylor to the woods.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. It wasn't an easy decision. It wasn't.
Yeah, it wasn't an easy decision. But, man.
Taylor and Henry's available. Barkley's available. Woo!
Dude. Oh, my God. I can't even express. Like, I can't disclose it because I'm co-commissioned. That's why I was able to see because I was watching.
I think there's only going to be 2 people that's not picking the first one, me and Vijay.
Yeah. Probably whatchamacallit too, because I think you got Kamara over there on the other side. And Kelsey.
Yeah. Nah, he probably kept Kelsey. He kept Kelsey.
Yeah, so I think so too.
There's gonna be they're gonna be surprise keepers. I'll tell you that.
Yo.
And no, there's 3 people three players getting kept in the first round. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, yo, man.
But one is a shocker. Shocker, jaw-dropping shocker.
Lord have mercy.
Oh, Lord.
I can't wait. Hey, yo, please,
Right,
get this out so I can see this.
That's gonna be on Wednesday's show.
It's a jaw-dropping shocker for the next first round keeper.
Somebody kept Tua.
Right? I wonder if the person realized like it was a keeper last year.
Yeah, that's gonna be.
I don't think they realized they kept that person last year.
Well, it's gonna be.
So, and I think, hey, it ain't my problem.
Yeah. All day.
As the commission would say,
I'm gonna go dig through and see who that is. I gotta know.
Over that itching. All right, y'all boys, man.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, later, y'all.
Later, guys.